General Hospital spoilers. Drew slaps Alexis, and Scout puts her dad in jail herself. The Port Charles air feels heavier than usual, as though the winds off the harbor are carrying whispers of betrayal, rage, and heartbreak. But this week, those whispers explode into shouts when a chain of events turns a quiet family tension into one of the most brutal confrontations in General Hospital history, a shocking moment that leaves Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, striking Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, in the heat of fury, and his daughter, Scout Kane, delivering the most unexpected justice of all by putting her own father behind bars. And let's be clear, this isn't just a quick, heated argument. This is a deep dive into every fracture in Drew's life, as a father, as a man, and as someone who's been playing with fire in both business and family matters. Let's break it down in the most explosive detail possible. For months, Drew has been dancing on the edge of a dangerous cliff. Between Yelkew tensions, lingering resentment over prison time he blames on others, and his increasingly unpredictable temper, those who know him best have noticed a shift, particularly Alexis. Alexis has always had an eye for self-destructive spirals, having lived through her own share of them, but this time, the spiral hits painfully close to home because it involves Scout. Scout, now old enough to pick up on subtleties adults think she'll miss, has been quietly observing the tension between her parents. Drew's promises to be more present keep falling through, and his new approach to protecting her involves strict, almost militant rules that clash with Alexis's more balanced approach. The final spark? A private conversation between Alexis and Scout about independence, truth-telling, and knowing when an adult's behavior crosses the line. A conversation Drew overhears and misinterprets as Alexis trying to turn his daughter against him. The drama ignites during what should have been a calm drop-off at Alexis's house. Scout had just spent the weekend with her father, and Alexis could already sense her daughter's unease. The girl barely made eye contact, clutching her backpack like a shield. Drew, already tense, wasted no time laying into Alexis. Drew, I don't appreciate you poisoning my daughter against me. Alexis, poisoning her? Drew, I'm trying to protect her. You've been different lately. She's scared, and you don't even see it. The words "she's scared" land like a slap in themselves. Drew's face tightens. Alexis steps forward, speaking calmly but firmly, and that's when Drew snaps. Years of unprocessed anger boil over, and in a split second, a moment that will haunt the show's history, Drew's hand flies. The sound of the slap echoes through Alexis's living room. Scout freezes in the doorway, her young face caught between shock and fear. Alexis's head jerks to the side, her eyes watering, not from the pain but from the shock of who had done it. What makes this scene unforgettable is not the shouting, it's the silence. Alexis slowly straightens, touching her cheek, and meets Drew's eyes with a look that is half fury, half devastation. Scout's breathing quickens, and she drops her backpack on the floor. Scout, Dad, you hit her. Drew stammers, I didn't mean, but the damage is already done. Alexis doesn't move, doesn't even respond verbally. She just looks at her daughter, silently urging her to leave the room. But Scout doesn't leave. The next beat is where General Hospital fans will have chills. Instead of running away or crying, Scout picks up her phone and, without saying a word to either adult, dials 911. Scout, to the operator, I need to report someone who hit my mom. His name is Drew Kane. He's my dad. He's here right now. The sheer bravery and heartbreaking maturity of this move will be the talk of the soap world for weeks. She isn't doing this out of spite. She's doing it because Alexis taught her that violence should never be ignored, no matter who does it. Drew's expression shifts from anger to disbelief as the realization sets in. His daughter is the one calling the police on him. When the police arrive, it's none other than Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, who takes the call. As both a cop and Drew's friend, Dante is torn. But the moment he sees Scout's face, pale, determined, and unflinching, he knows there's no brushing this under the rug. Dante, Drew, you know I have to do this. Drew, Dante, come on. Alexis, no. You don't get to ask for favors. Not after this. The handcuffs click, and Drew's eyes flicker toward Scout. She doesn't look away. The scene becomes a gut-wrenching visual, father and daughter locked in an unspoken acknowledgement that something between them has broken in a way that may never be fully repaired. The arrest sends shockwaves through the town. People are split. Sam McCall is devastated, trying to be there for both her sister Alexis and her daughter's father, but she can't condone what Drew did. Carly Spencer initially tries to defend Drew, arguing that it was a moment of bad judgment, but when she sees Scout's tear-stained face, her stance softens into something more conflicted. Nina Reeves wastes no time in using the scandal to undermine Drew in the business world, hinting to Yelku stakeholders that his instability is now public record. Olivia Quartermain insists on standing by Alexis, reminding everyone that abuse is never excusable, no matter the circumstances. The press catches wind of the incident, but what grabs headlines isn't Drew's arrest. It's the courage of a young girl who stood up for what was right, even when it meant putting her own father in jail. Port Charles residents begin telling their own stories of abuse, inspired by Scout's courage. Alexis, despite being shaken, tells her daughter privately that she has never been prouder. "Alexis, you did what even some grown-ups can't, Scout. You spoke the truth. And you made sure it was heard." While in lockup, Drew requests to see Scout. Against her better judgment, Alexis allows it supervised. The scene is quiet but loaded. "Drew, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Scout, you told me to always protect the people I love. That's what I did. I still love you, but you can't do that to people. Not ever." Drew's voice cracks as he realizes that this moment, more than the arrest, more than the headlines, is the true punishment. His daughter's trust is the most valuable thing he had, and he's lost it. This single act sets off multiple future arcs for General Hospital. Drew's redemption or downfall. Will Drew seek therapy, make amends, and rebuild trust, or will prison harden him into someone unrecognizable? Alexis's advocacy. This incident reignites Alexis's passion for victims' rights, leading her to spearhead a legal initiative in Port Charles. Scout's coming-of-age storyline. The writers finally give Scout a strong, independent arc, showing her resilience and emotional intelligence far beyond her years. Family lines redrawn. Sam, Carly, and even Sunny are forced to choose sides as Drew's relationships fracture under public scrutiny. Soap operas thrive on betrayal and redemption, but this storyline pushes the boundaries by placing a child at the moral center. The emotional complexity, loving someone but refusing to excuse their wrongdoing, is something audiences will carry with them long after the episode airs. It's not just about the slap. It's about the generational impact of choices, the courage it takes to speak truth to power, and the reality that sometimes the people we need to be protected from are the ones we love the most.